Hello, welcome back. I am Jonathan Mathis, the sports judge. Thanks for hanging out with me. It's a great time to be a Mets fan. What a great holiday season. It's the most wonderful time of the year, and the Mets were gifted with one of the top 5 players in baseball. They have every right to be excited. The power has shifted to the other New York franchise. Sunday was a landmark day for the franchise. Steve Cohen closed the deal. It actually happened. It's official. It's real. Juan Soto is a New York Met. This is unquestionably the biggest move in the history of the franchise. And I'm not saying the Mets will ever be the kings of New York, but as of right now, the Mets are a more compelling Broadway show. With the signing of Juan Soto, embrace it. Juan Soto wanted to be in Queens and is now a Met. You don't have to like it. You don't have to accept it. I never thought the day would come that I would say the Mets officially run New York. Congratulations to them. I can't argue with that. In terms of spending money and signing big talent, yes, I can say the Mets run New York. But the truth of the matter is, sports are all about winning championships, and the Mets haven't done that in 38 years. And I think back to the 2000 World Series. Who won the World Series when they faced the Yankees that year? The Big Brothers did. It's a sad day when a player takes off the pinstripe jersey and jumps on the Mets bandwagon. There's really nothing that can seem to calm your soul now that Juan Soto left for the Mets. The holidays are supposed to be full of joy, but it's a sad time of the year. This time for so many Yankees fans, Cohen puts his money where his money is. This is what Mets fans were sold on when Cohen bought the team. It's impossible to ignore them because they have an owner who isn't shy to spend big money on superstars. I feel like Cohen was all in on Soto. It's stupid money for sure, but Cohen can afford to spend money, and finances, as evident, is not an issue, and he would be willing to break the bank for big-time free agents. And he just did exactly that. I mean, the Mets, with quite a splash, have recalibrated the way baseball in New York looks. In the long-winding history of the Yankees, the more popular baseball franchise in the state, a player of Juan Soto's caliber rarely turns down the pinstripes. I can think back to the broke years when the Mets would sign like 3 low-level players and the Yankees would get everybody. Now that's not the case. I would say the Mets are now the kings of New York. Juan Soto, this is the former New York Yankee everybody has been waiting for. I've been talking about it for a minute now. Everything is reversed in this city. In this day and age, we are living in epic times where the Mets all of a sudden are the big spenders while the Yankees get outbid. And that's what happened. The Mets just outbid the Yankees for the best free agent on the market after that player was on their team for a full year. The world we're waking up in today is not the same as the one we woke up in 20 years ago or a decade ago. The Juan Soto sweepstakes are finally over. The cold, hard reality of this is that the Mets are set up better to win over the next decade. The Yankees were the Mets. Now they're the Mets. Here's what we are now. We're a serious franchise now. This is what we are. That's exactly what the Mets needed to become a dangerous team, adding Soto. This Soto deal is just the beginning of the Cohen makeover of the Mets. I believe that they're not finished and that they're going to add some offense this year. Maybe maybe not a superstar, maybe Kyle Tucker. And when you look at what the Mets already have, an emerging star in Vientos, an MVP caliber player in his prime in Francisco Lindor, a blend of proven vets and talented prospects. Soto saw that, if he signs with the Mets. Cohen, the richest owner in baseball who wants to win, would have plenty of money in the tank to build a legit perennial contender. Soto saw the money. Yes, easy decision. I think there's some interesting parts in this. No doubt money is a huge factor. It's much more than just the money. It's about him making his own history without being paired and sharing the field with Aaron Judge. So with that, you kind of figure he did not want to be a Yankee, obviously. He's someone who has an impact on the game. Hey, I want to be remembered for winning, but I also want to be remembered as a Mets legend. I have that competitive fire. I don't need Aaron Judge to write my legacy. I guarantee you he would have stayed with the Yankees and would still be wearing pinstripes if they offered him $5 million more. The New York Post's John Heyman reported that the Yankees' final offer was for 16 years and $760 million, or $5 million less and 1 year more than the offer he accepted from the Mets. It's all the exact reasons we say this about the Yankees, the fact that they're not the top free agency destination. And after missing out on Juan Soto in free agency, losing him to the rival New York team, the Yankees are looking to rebound. And I can almost tell you, whatever happens next, the future of the Yankees will no doubt be much more scrutinized after whiffing on the most prized free agent of the offseason. They're making more money and not spending it. They can afford to spend. I think at the end of the day, in a world where one guy can make $765 million, the Yankees had a nice offer on the table, but the $5 million more was really enough to get Juan Soto to say no thanks to the Yankees and instead shake hands with the Mets. I know some people are leaning towards this can't be a good thing. And then you have Mets fans who are absolutely thrilled that Juan Soto is theirs. He's expensive, which isn't the worst thing when considering he has the tools to become the number one overall player on his new team. It's a blockbuster deal for MLB, the largest guaranteed contract and a franchise-altering move for the Mets. It feels like it's just overall a good move for the New York Mets. For the Yankees, it's a tough loss as they figure out what's next. What's the next move now that Juan Soto will be in another part of New York where he can be the king of his own franchise? And I do wonder if Soto also joined the Mets in part because he didn't want to be beneath the shadow of Aaron Judge. This is Shohei Ohtani money. It's big money for a guy who is obviously a generational talent. Suddenly, you're like, oh my God, we just landed Juan Soto, the best hitter of the modern era. The only person you can say is better at this point is Shohei Ohtani. This is a good player, and he's only 26. Soto is a legitimate star. He's proved he can play in a big market city like New York. And Soto, given his continued durability, uncanny batting eye, legend level bat, and being on a top tier franchise, by the time it's all said and done, he'll go down as a top 15 hitter of all time. What can go wrong adding Juan Soto? I don't know what can go wrong. And right now, you can make the case that he's already on the Mount Rushmore of hitters through age 26. Great hitters get paid. 5-tool players make bank. And he's earned his payday. So let me just say this. People are saying this isn't overpay. That one man isn't worth that kind of money. I don't think there's any question that this is the market for a generational star in the big leagues nowadays. A really good player who is on pace to be a top 5 all-time hitter in numerous hitting categories goes to the Mets. The report was the Red Sox and Yankees were the teams pursuing him. Multiple rumors, so much happening. I didn't know where to look or what to believe. There were a lot of rumblings out there that the Red Sox reportedly made him an offer. They were reportedly one of the strongest players in the last 24 hours. And apparently, a lot of times in free agency, we say the dollars and cents don't matter. That wasn't the case this time. The dollars and cents did matter. There were a lot of rumors out there leading up to Soto signing with the Mets. Some of them were true, some were partially true, and some weren't true at all. It's just exciting for some of you to follow the unknowns. Soto being linked and rumored to the Mets for a few weeks was official on Sunday. The sweepstakes are finally over. So the chatter of the last few days, the hearsay about him being a Met materialized into reality. Amazing that he's getting that kind of money. I'm happy for him. Congratulations to him. He's earned it. And here's what I think about him going to the Mets. It is that the Mets offer was better, and especially with the escalators being mentioned. From what we've heard, the Yankees offer on the table wasn't that bad. A player hasn't really done this to the Yankees before. You don't see this where the Yankees get outbid. I know people want to push this narrative. Oh, it was about the money. It's more to it, folks. It's more to it. We're watching Juan Soto in his prime right now, still have plenty of years left, and the Yankees used to be what the Mets are now. They had maybe the greatest players in baseball on the diamond, some of the more popular names and faces, but after the Steinbrenner kids took over and let Cashman stay on his high chair, it has been a revolving door. There hasn't been a lot of consistency. There hasn't been a lot of continuity. There hasn't been excellence. This year with Soto, they get to the World Series, so they've gone through stretches where they used to sign the big names, and that's just not what they do now. So I think Soto quite literally chose Queens because he's been looking for obviously that long-term deal, and the Mets was where he decided to sign his life away. He looked at the entire situation, and I just think that we've seen over the years that the New York Mets are the more stable team from top to bottom. It's a more stable top to bottom organization right now than the Yankees. And I know that sounds outrageous to say. That's just what it is. And so now Soto is joining the Mets where the legacy begins to build for him. I'll say this. Look at the totality of that Mets lineup. It's not a bad roster at all. It's a place where a superstar of Soto's caliber can go and dazzle and win the World Series and win World Series titles. And I think he realized that, and I think that's what helped him make his decision. You know, he knows what he can do with the Mets. I mean, it's a great team. They were close last year. And I think he realizes that and chose the Mets' future over the Yankees' past. And look at him now. He is a Met. Guys, I'm wrapping this up now. It's late. I appreciate you all for checking out the content as always, for hitting the like and subscribe button. That's awesome. Let's do this together. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. If you like sports and my content, subscribe to the channel. If you're on TikTok, follow me on the platform. I'll have more content sometime tomorrow. I'll see you guys next time. Take care, everyone. Have a good night. Thanks for watching.